Hi there. Nick thinks I'm here to talk about what's coming up on SportsCentre. I'm not. I'm here to talk about Nick. What you probably don't know is that in his own unassuming way, he's powered through his very last shift as a broadcaster. After 43 years on air and 29 at Sky, Nick Powell is about to hang up his mic and enjoy a well-deserved retirement. Nick, you have had a remarkable career. You're an inspiration to absolutely every single one of us with your hard work and dedication. So I want you to sit back and enjoy this.
Hi, this is it. 1 o'clock on Deadline Day. A warm welcome. We've had a bit of history already with Anthony becoming the most expensive Deadline Day deal. But we want and we will get much more drama between now and 11 o'clock.
Very good morning to you from Wimbledon. I use the phrase good morning loosely. It's a pretty damp, miserable sea.
So a year on exactly from the night England qualified in Rome for France 98. Another 0-0 draw leaves a very different taste in the mouth.
Did my best with the Sky News umbrella to keep 9 people dry, fairly miserably.
Despite that, he can walk down his own high street unrecognised. Despite that, he can walk down his own high street unrecognised. But here, no, I have to keep trying.
Hello, good evening from Sheffield. Tonight, this stadium will be a spectacular blaze of colour. The opening ceremony reaching its climax when Sheffield's own Helen Sharman, Britain's first astronaut, lights the flame of the Universiada.
That's right. I mean, if I drop it now, there's going to be a lot of angry people, I think.
This is the inner sanctum, the jockeys' weighing room, where normally the likes of me do not get in. But here we are, and this is Leighton Aspel's peg.
Here we go. Despite that, he can walk down his own high street unrecognised. But here, he's famous.
Also, was ist die wichtigste Sportart hier auf der Insel? Im Winter, ohne Frage, Fußball. Im Sommer war es immer Cricket. Dafür braucht man einen Schläger und einen Ball.
Well, it isn't the usual Sky Sports makeup.
My uncle once said to me, if you're going to ski cross-country, choose a small country.
David, to warn you here, there's 2 stories with pictures and 1 with no pictures, OK? Football discipline.
Welcome back. You're watching Sky News. Nick is here with all the sports news. Talk about naughty footballers.
Despite that, he can walk down his own high street unrecognised. But here, he's famous.
Oh yeah, he's looking strong at the moment.
Must be really irritating when you're watching it, when you're out there with it. By comparison, the Austrians get £7 million for competition expenses alone.
But first, to our sports editor, Nick Powell, at the Olympic Park. Nick, we all have to draw a rather deep breath about this.
Yes, it'd be nice to get time to do that at some point, but 3 medals in the space of an hour in the stadium behind me. 5'2" with a 6-foot ditch, just to make things more interesting.
Only 3 French sports clubs have ever won major European Cup finals.
You're watching Sky News, live from Wimbledon, where history has been made. In the last 15 seconds, Andy Murray has become the first British man to win Wimbledon since Fred Perry way back in 1936.
Dennis Law was from barefoot boy to Ballon d'Or winner. The truth.
Yeah, and the only Scottish player to ever win the Ballon d'Or.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Sky Sports News with a little help from 330 members of the Virtual Youth Orchestra. 6 o'clock on Monday, the 29th of January. Welcome to Calendar.
Up to 70,000 people in Leeds could soon be facing court action for not paying their poll tax.
Incidentally, if you're wondering how all this is being filmed, well, of course, I've brought my own crew here. Here they are, stars. And I just wonder, how are we filming this bit? Another one.
So there you are, Monday's calendar. I hope I haven't been too rude about computers. They do say they can exact the most fearful revenge, but personally, I think that's a load of old rubbish.
So that's how we do it. You all thought it was done by mirrors, didn't you?
And what's it been like the last 9 days waiting for a game with no game? Well, we took the lads away and had a bit of a break.
This is Sky Sports News on an historic night for Liverpool, champions of England for the first time in 30 years and Premier League champions for the very first time. Despite that, he can walk down his own high street unrecognised. But here, he's famous. And here, Britain is looking for its next Olympic bobsleigh medalist.
A hardcore of determined troublemakers has been blamed for the riot at Lindholm Prison near Doncaster earlier this month.
The monitor you see in the corner of the picture, the television screen, very much the centre of attention here too. What about what Richard Boddy was saying there, that the government's problems are all of their own making?
Football can be about many other things too: excitement, entertainment and exhilarating sporting moments. Our cameras have captured some of that this weekend for our regular Monday soccer feature, Goal.
Very disappointing. I was nearly as disappointed when you interrupted me whilst I was working as well. Would you like me walking into a news broadcast while you're talking?
I'm trying to do my job, you're trying to do yours, but did you...
No, when you interfere with me, you're not doing your job properly. Yes, I'm disappointed, obviously. Very, very disappointed. But the game's not over yet. Whilst there's life, there's hope. Thank you.
Very nearly tripped over my own feet. Sorry about that. What an atmosphere. What a guest. David Seaman, who's still being cheered on hundreds of years since his playing days by the crowds here. Eddie, thanks for joining us. Fantastic year for you. Obviously, it's not all been plain sailing.
Do you know now who your England captain is for the Six Nations?
Yep.
You going to tell me?
No.
Everyone holding their breath. Would she hold on? Would Manila Times deliver? She did, he did, they did, and they've made history tonight.
Nick Powell, you're an absolute legend. Nick, we love you, obviously. We're going to miss you. Some fabulous names and all of that. Have you got a sporting hero? I've never heard you say.
I was just going to say, if we took that much care as we did with that report, as we did with the rest of our output, would be fantastic.
There he goes.
Someone's gone to a lot of trouble, and thank you very much. Here, two I've seen most recently. I mean, there've been lots over the years. There's interviews I've forgotten. I'd forgotten I'd ever interviewed Helen Sharman, the space woman. But since I saw Kevin Keegan there, I'm allowed to mention a former Liverpool hero. I was probably 11 when he signed for Bill Shankly for Liverpool. And I remember going to a tennis tournament that was quite close to us at school, and Kevin was there with Peter Lorenzo, legendary journalist, worked for The Sun, father of Matt Lorenzo, formerly of this parish, and he was there, and I said, "Can I have your autograph, please?" And he said, "Oh, you mean Bob Hewitt?" Bob Hewitt was a famous tennis player at the time, and I met Kevin many times over the years, and I'm going to carry on my Keegan. Since I've started, I'm going to finish. There was once a time when our weather forecaster, Bob Rust at Yorkshire Television, was away for the week, and we said, we'll get somebody different to do the weather each night, and I had to that's how we speak in, interview Kevin in Doncaster, I think it was, and I said, "Kevin, would you do the weather forecast for us?" So he had a football, he scribbled the forecast on the back of a football, delivered it perfectly, and belted the football into the Doncaster. So, yeah, I'll go with Kevin Keegan.
So, Kevin Keegan, final thoughts then, after a long and illustrious career, how do you feel?
I feel kind of OK. People have asked me, the 27th person to ask me that probably today, and I've just I'm going to tell this story. Some people know this, my friends, my motto. There's a guy called Reginald Bosanquet. He used to read the news on ITN. You're old enough, but most people here are not old enough to remember. And Reginald Bosanquet, Reggie, called his autobiography "Let's Get Through Wednesday." And that is my motto. If you ask me about what's happening the week after next, I have no idea, but I'm thinking what's happening next. And by the way, to bring it back to sport, Reggie Bosanquet, his dad, you should know this, invented the googly, and that's why the googly is known as the Bosie, particularly in Australia.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, a broadcasting legend, our very own Nick Powell.
Thank you very much. What do I say? I'll tell you what I say. I'm going to say that Mike Wedderburn's next, and we've got breaking news, because Kai Havertz is out for the season. That is significant, and Mike Wedderburn will tell you about that next.
Thank you, Nick. Brilliant. Thank you. Mate, well done.